Howdy. If you watched my last video, then you probably know what's going on here. But if not, welcome, and let me explain what I'm about to do here. Basically, as we get closer and closer to the start of the NBA season, I'll be releasing short videos where I'll be discussing what to expect from every single player on the Kings roster. I'll talk about their role on the team, their stats from last year, and how I project they'll do this season. Now, I'm not predicting stats because that's just not fun, but what I am doing is deciding what this guy needs to do in order for me to be a happy camper. So, without further ado, let's talk about Domantas Sabonis. Last year, Sabonis played better than I think any Kings fan could have hoped for. I mean, you can't say enough about him. He literally did everything except defense, but fucking joined the club. But yeah, he basically did everything for this team. He was all NBA, he was an all-star, he led the league in rebounding, second in triple doubles, first in double doubles, 65 of them things. And I think he might be even better this year. I wouldn't be surprised to see his scoring go down a little, unless he develops a jumper, but I think his assists will go up. He's still kind of the only rebounder on the team, so that'll probably stay around 12 per, but unfortunately, no matter how good he is in the regular season, none of it really matters unless he performs in the playoffs. That might not be fair to him, but the word on the street is he's a good regular season player, but the bright lights of the playoffs are just too much for him. He could have an MVP campaign going this year, but all those conversations will end with, what he's doing right now is great and all, but what will we see come playoff time? And even as a Kings fan, we're obviously going to root for him and hope to God he plays at an MVP level, but there is going to be that little shred of doubt in the back of our minds that's saying, but can he do this in the playoffs? And to be fair, I think his shortcomings in the playoffs last year were a little overblown. He still averaged 16, 11, and 5. I think the bigger issues were Herter being pretty much unplayable and HB and Keegan, for the most part, not playing up to their standards. I mean, that's 3 out of our 5 starters who just didn't show up. But all that playoff stuff aside, if Sabonis has a similar season as last year, let alone a better one, I'll obviously be super happy. But the NBA media and maybe even some Kings fans aren't going to care until he proves it in the playoffs, which most of the proving will be on the defensive side and on the boards. Because I thought he played fine on offense. Maybe he had a few too many turnovers, but I mean, we were playing the Warriors and they create a ton of turnovers, so that was kind of expected. I think he's going to build upon last year. I think he's going to set out to prove that 1, he's a top 3 big, 2, he belongs in the MVP conversation, and 3, the people need to respect him as one of the best players on what we all hope is a contending team.